So in this video I'm going to show you how to fill some capsules using a cheap capsule filling machine that you can buy off Amazon, eBay, various online retailers and all sorts of places. It's in the box. I'll be showing you that very shortly. Here are the things you need. You need a couple of bowls, you need your wife's best white tablecloth to make a mess on, you need the capsule machine and a whole bunch of capsules. In this video I'm using 000 gauge or 000 size. These contain about 5 mils of space, so you put 5 mils of liquid in if it's an oil based, or 5 mils of powder. That works out between 1 and 5 grams depending on the density of the powder. So now what we have going on here, first of all you've got to separate out your capsules, hence the 2 bowls. Put the big end into one bowl and put the little end into the other bowl. Obviously, don't mix them up, you're going to have a problem later if you do. So that takes probably to about 100, it takes about 2 or 3 minutes to do. Next thing, machine out the box. Well, not really a machine, it's just a lump of plastic with holes in. It comes in various different levels. After the first few times of making a mess, it becomes very easy to know what to do. The fun bit is the springy one. Maybe that's just me. So put on the guide plate, whatever it's called. It's the thing with the high sides. There's little notches on the corner so it fits in nicely. Put in the long end, so that's the main part of the capsule. Now the smaller the capsule, so the smaller size ones, they'll just drop into the holes. The curved end just falls in. The larger capsules don't do that very well, so you have to do it manually. It's just worth noting the capsule machines come in different size gauges that match the size of the capsules that you use. So if you buy one size capsule but you've got a different size machine, they're not going to match. So you then have to get another one. So make sure, if you're just going to be using one size capsule, make sure you use the right size machine. Save your pennies. If you're like me, you're filling lots of different size capsules, then you'll have different gauge machines. They're all exactly the same, they just got different size holes in. So once you've got all of those filled with the long end, it takes a little while just to drop them all in one by one. You can now fill it with your powder. Here I'm just using Trafala powder. It's the pure powder, it's got no fillers or anything else in it, which is why I prefer to make my own, because it hasn't got all the other stuff. The talc, why do they put talc in these things? I don't know. So stick it into the stuff, scrape it round to fill the capsules that are there. I put way too much powder in here, as you'll see. This is the damper downer, so you can then basically compress the powder into the capsules. It depends on how much you want to put in there. Different density powders will compact down to different levels. Trafala, you can actually get quite a lot into the capsule. Things like psyllium husk, it's very hard to compact it because it's quite springy, so the capsules tend to be a lot lighter. When you've done that to your satisfaction, scrape out the excess, save that for later, and then we can put this to one side. So that is the main part of the capsules now filled. Now we need to put the shorter end, so the cap lids, for want of a better term. There's another plate, you'll see which way round it goes. This is where you put the smaller bits. That's just the guide plate. Now because they're smaller, most of them will just bounce into the holes, as hopefully you'll see here. So it's much quicker to do this. These plates, by the way, each one holds 100 capsules. So this is the quick way to make basically a bottle of 100 filled capsules yourself. Then you just put in the ones that didn't drop into the holes, and now you're nearly finished, ready to go. So now once that's done, you can take away the guide plate. We'll do that in a sec. Having a good look here. Yeah. Oh, this was the thing. The capsules are raised up slightly. They poke out a little bit. That's the important detail. Because here is the plate that holds them now in place. You can't get it wrong way around because there's 2 grooves. Those grooves, only on one side of the plate, have those upper side. That now sits over the top there, and that will hold those things in place. The protruding part of the capsule secures it so it doesn't slide around. This now enables you to turn that plate upside down. Before we do that, we just have to remove the guide plate from the other one. If you lift it up carefully, because this is quite a resinous powder, the excess stays in the holes of the plate. You'll see in a sec. This is actually just a very thin layer of dust that's in there. It just makes it easier to conserve it for later. So that's the guide plate there. The capsules are still in the springy base plate, as you can see. We'll take off the excess powder from there in a second, again to save that for use later. That's where our main capsules that have been filled are residing. Be sure to make a maximum mess on your table. It makes the family really happy to see you making a mess. Okay, now what we can do is that we turn that upside down. That guide plates hold those in place. And now we're going to compress that down, and now the two halves of the capsule get joined together when we push down. You'll normally hear lots of cracking noises as they all sort of click together. And now inside there you have filled capsules that are now sealed over with the shorter end. We can lift away that plate there, leaving those in place. There's your lovely filled capsules. And now what we can do, by lifting out the red one, we can lift out all those capsules there because they're now nicely held in place. And that just makes it really easy then to put them into the bag, into the jar, or in this case just the plate of the ones I made earlier. And there, that is how you make 100 self-filled capsules. It's ever so easy to do. The first couple of times I just got them everywhere. I dropped capsules all over the place. They pinged on the floor. They bounced. I got powder everywhere. I got the base plate the wrong way round, so everything fell out. So the first couple of times, don't worry about making a mess. You just scrape it all up again and start over. It's ever so easy to do. It takes minutes. That is 200 capsules of Trafala. That took me a total of 12 minutes.